Peace, my family, and round back to all those coming out of that good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all that good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right and that good mind. How y'all feeling today? Hope you guys want definitely moving on up in your higher nature. And cleansing. Oh yeah. Cleansing the lows. I came here today to share the scroll. What laws did Yashua follow? This right here again will certainly help you on this good journey. So with that being said, family, let's get started. The question is one moment. The question is, amongst all of the commandments, which is the greatest question? And this is our master teacher, Dr. Malachi's answer. In Deuteronomy 6:4, in Deuteronomy 6:4, it tells you which is one is the greatest commandment. It tells you which one is the greatest commandment. Alright, so Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel, Yashua are two Elohim. Yashua is one. Hear, O Israel, tell the Lord. Hear, Israel, the Lord our God is the one Lord. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. This is the same answer Yashua gave when he was asked in Mark 12:28-30. And it reads, and one of the scribes came, and having heard them speaking together and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all? And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments, Hear, O Israel, Master our Theos is one Master, and you will love the Master your Theos with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. The same exact thing can be found in 112th chapter of the Quran, called the Surah Ratul and the Halas. The children of Israel were Eli's chosen children. Alright. So that's the end of his answer. So let's go on. Why were they his chosen people? Question. And this is our master teacher, Dr. Malachi's answer. If you read Deuteronomy 7:7-9, there you will find your answer. Deuteronomy 7:7-9. And it reads, A Yashua, not the Yashua, did not long for you or choose you because you were robed more multitude in number than any nation of people, for you were the fewest of all the nation of people, but because a Yashua loved you, and because he desired to keep the oath which he swore to your fathers, Yashua has brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of slavery from the hand of Pharaoh Ramesses II, the ruler of Egypt. Therefore, know that Yashua Elohim is Elohim, the faithful El, who keeps covenant and grace with him that love him and keep his commandments. To 1,000 genealogies. Alright. So it goes on to read, Eli keeps his promises that he would redeem them for the land of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Eli always keeps his covenants and bestows mercy on those that obey his commandments. Deuteronomy 24:10. And so it reads, "And there has not arisen a new spirit of things to come again into Israel like Moses, which Yashua, not the Yashua, knew face to face. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face." Alright, so that is his answer. So it goes on to the next question. Were there any other messengers of Eli after Moses and before the coming of Yashua who brought a law? Question. And this is our master teacher, Dr. Malachi Zierk's answer. If you look at the books of the prophets, on numerous occasions they often refer to the laws of Moses. After Moses' departure, Joshua, son of Nun, and Joe, who was Moses' scribe and successor, consistently enforced the laws of Moses. Joshua 1:7-8. And it reads, "Only you can be stronger and greatly courageous, that you may observe to fashion according to all the Torah law, which my slave Moses commanded you. Don't turn aside from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper whomsoever you walk. This scroll of the Torah law will not depart out of your mouth, but you will meditate therein day and shadow hours, that you may observe the fashion according to all that is written therein, for then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good understanding." And so again, it goes on to read, "Only be thou strength, and be very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whomsoever thou goest. This book of law shall not depart out of the mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou might observe to do according to that what is written therein, for thou have saved make thy way prosperous, and that they shall have good success." Alright, so it goes on to read, also David charges his son Solomon to upkeep the laws of Moses. 1 Kings 2:3. These laws were passed down from king to king. Ezra, son of Sarah, who was a scribe in the laws of Moses. Ezra 7:6 also read and interpreted the laws of Moses. Ezra 32. David, son of Jesse, recorded the book of Psalms to keep the laws. Psalms 78, 1-6. Isaiah, son of Amos, preached the law of Moses to the people of Sodom. Isaiah 1:10. Jeremiah bewails the sins of the people for transgressing the laws. Jeremiah 5:2-3. Ezekiel, a high priest, envisioned that because Israel had transgressed from the laws of Moses, they would be destroyed, and the law shall perish from the priests Levites. Ezekiel 7:26. Daniel, fast and confess and praise for all of Israel for their transgressions. Daniel 9:11. At this time, the mediator between Eli and man, the angelic being Gabriel, came to Daniel to disclose to him that a Messiah would be sent to the house of Israel, the lost sheep, to restore the lost. Daniel 9:21. And it reads, "Yes, while I was speaking in prayer, even the male living being Gabriel, when I had seen in a vision at the beginning, flew swiftly and touched me about the time of the dusting offering." And then it goes on to say, Hosea, son of Bari, acknowledged that his people, the children of Israel, lose all truth and mercy in the knowledge of Eli and go whoring after false gods. Isaiah 4:6. And Amos, son of Malachi, makes a very important distinction in his book when he distinguished the tribe of Israel from the tribe of Judah. Keep this quote in mind because this subject will come up in the next chapter. As you can see, all the messengers that came after Moses taught and tried to enforce the laws of Moses. But the children of Israel were a very ungrateful nation. The children of Israel was a very ungrateful nation, and in a very short while after the ascension of Moses, they again began defiling the laws of Eli and went astray. The coming of the Messiah. As stated before, the term Messiah is a title that is attributed to a person who has been anointed. In Masoretic Arabic, the word is ha-Mashiach, literally mean anointed. Unlike what most people think, Yashua Jesus was not the only Messiah to have come to save a people. There were many Messiahs before Yashua. And it says, Enoch, son of Jared, was a Messiah. The brother of Moses, Aaron, was a high priest, and he was anointed, making him a Messiah. Exodus 28:41, Leviticus 8:12, as well as his sons. Samuel, who was also appointed as a Messiah. David, son of Jesse, was also appointed as a Messiah. John the Baptist was also anointed as a Messiah. Ezra, scribe, was also a high priest in the Levitical law. Israel, Emmanuel, son of Isaiah, was also a Messiah. The title Messiah was given to Yashua, son of Mary and Gabriel, when he reached the age of 30. At the time of the prophecy coming of the Messiah, the children of Israel were far, far astray from the laws of Moses. They had separated 12 tribes and mixed their seed with many of those tribes that surrounded them. Israel 9:1-2. While along with all the other abominations which they worked with before the Creator, they were destroyed. The only surviving members of the 12 tribes of Israel were the remaining 7,000 members of the tribe of Judah. 2 Kings 17:18. And it reads, There Yashua was very angry with Israel, and turned them aside out of his face. There was none remaining but the tribe of Judah only. Therefore the Lord was very, very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. When the Israelites intermarried with the Amorites and the Assyrians, they became known as the Samaritans, were a mixed race of people named after the land in which they dwelt. This left the only survivors of Israel, Judah. Refers to who was Jesus sent to? Question. Scroll. Check that out. The book of 2 Kings and both Chronicles gave a full account of the afflictions and the woes of Israel. The messengers between 869 BCE through 700 BCE, especially Isaiah, regarded Syria's aggression against Israel as punishment of the Israelites' act of violation and ignorance of the law. It seemed that the entire purpose of Assyria was to aggress Israel every time she went a whoring. Exodus 34:15, Leviticus 17:7, 25, Deuteronomy 31:16, Judges 2:17, 8:27, 33, 1 Chronicles 5:25, 2 Chronicles 21:13, Joshua 7:1, 2 Kings 21:1-2, 10-15. And as you can see by the many quotes listed above, Israel transgressed regularly. Alright. So again, family, y'all want to go on a little bit more? Okay. You know what? Let me see. You know what? It's okay. You know what? I'm gonna read on, okay? Alright. Question. What are the laws of Yashua followed? What laws Yashua followed? Question. And this is our Master Dr. Malachi's answer. Now, let's take this step by step. Firstly, let's establish what Yashua was taught as a child from his mother, Mary, and his stepfather, Joseph, son of Jacob. And Joseph was not the eternal father of Yashua. However, he became his adopted father after Yashua's birth. Refer to who was Jesus' father. Question. Because Joseph and Mary were descended from the line of Israel, they both followed the laws of Moses. Joseph was a descendant from Jacob, Israel, son of Isaac, third son of Levi. Thus he was a Levite, who was a priest amongst Levitical priests. Mary, on the other hand, descended from the tribe of Judah. She was taught by her uncle Zachariah, son of Josiah, who was also high priest. Joseph and Mary were both learned in the laws of Moses. Zachariah received a sign from Eli that Joseph was to be her husband. Thus, the engagement of Joseph and Mary took place. After the birth of Yashua in the Hadith of Luke, you will see the child being brought to the temple by his parents according to the customs of the law. The Hadith of Luke 2:27-39 recorded 58 AD, and he came by the Spirit into the temple when the parents brought the child Yashua to do for him after the custom of law. And when they had performed all things according to the law of the sustainer, they returned to Galilee to their own city of Nazareth. Exodus 13:9-10. And later the chapter you will see both Joseph and Mary again abiding by the law. The feast of the Passover, Luke 2:41, Exodus 12:48, and also when the child Yashua was 8 days old, they took him to be circumcised according to the law. Luke 2:21 and Leviticus 12:3. This also shows how they followed the law of Abram, who took his sons to keep up the covenant that was made between him and Eli. Genesis 17:10-14. And after the days of Mary's purification were over, according to the law, she brought him to Jerusalem. Luke 2:22 and Leviticus 12:7. This was done in accordance with the law. In Luke 2:23, it states that every male that is born is to be called holy to the sustainer, and an offering is made. Leviticus 12:7-8. So yes, Yashua was brought up following the laws of Moses. So yes, Yashua was brought up following the laws of Moses. Alright. So again, that is the end of his answer. So again, that's a good place to stop. Now, I'm reading the scriptures, so of course, reading the book, the scrolls, and reading, the certain scriptures in it, and that's why it's so crucial to do your deep study and check out what he's talking about as far as looking up the scriptures yourself and seeing for yourself so you begin to see things clear. Check it out. You are so much encouraged to do so. Alright, family, I'm going to leave it at that for now. Again, if you are interested, again, you can check this out on the channel. It's on there. Okay? Alright, so I'm leaving it at that again. Know let you all love beyond this world and in it. Begin to spread that love one to another. Be the peace that you seek. Release our master teacher, Dr. Malachi L. Peace, shalom, hashug, divine love, family, and Rajuma. And it's all